Hello, parents. Welcome to the 6th grade class information video. I am Mrs. Martinez, and I'm going to just scroll through as quickly and painlessly as possible some information about your 6th graders' classes that they will be having with me. Again, I teach 6th grade science, Bible, and life skills, cooking, and keyboarding. So I have a lot. First off, let me just show you my website real fast. A great spot for you to go and look at is under the parent info link. Remember, my site address is martinez.alchristian.com. That's martinez.alchristian.com. Okay, so let's look at our website. Excuse the uploading video that's just scrolling here on the right-hand side. But you can see here, this is a really good video for you guys to watch. It takes about 20 minutes, and it's a video all about how to link yourself to Google Classroom so you can see what your student is doing. It's a great addition to your student's classroom and education. This way, you know what's going on. You can keep on top of them. But what I would really like to share with you, give me a second, is this screen. This is a little Google Doc I made, and you can see, if I move my handy dandy little picture, if you click on these tabs, they will take you to the information for each class. So if you go to 6th grade science, you can see my expectations. Now, my expectations are the same for all classes. Number one, I don't expect everyone to be an A student. Never, ever have I. But I do expect everyone to try their best. So if your kid is trying their hardest at everything they've done and they only get C's, that's okay, as long as they're trying, right? Science isn't for everybody. So some people will get A's in science, some people will get C's. It's okay. All I ask is that every kid tries their best. I expect all students to be kind and respectful to their classmates, teachers, and all school staff members at all times. Each and every person is valuable and worthy of respect and kindness. And so I expect that from my students to everybody that they come in contact with. I expect honesty at all times, even when it's hard. Honesty builds trust and faith in one another. Guys, we're going to be together in it for 3 years together. Some of us have been in it for longer. So it's great if we can become an honest, trustworthy, and be able to have faith in our classmates so that we could truly become that family that I know we are at heart. So definitely, these are my expectations. If they follow these expectations, everything else should come in just fine. If you try your best, you should always get your work in on time. You should always do your best on all your tests. I don't know. It's to me, all of these things, they just encompass one another and they come all together. Let's go to the next slide real fast. Now, the grading breakdowns for all the different classes are different. So please take a moment to go through this doc and check out each of the different grading breakdowns. And then if you click on the tabs and continue on, you will see that there are topics that we will cover listed here. So in science, these are the different things we will cover. And then again, you could go back through all of these and look at the grading breakdowns and all of that stuff for each and every one of your students. In 6th grade science, it's usually a heavy project year. But this year, that's going to have to change. So I will be making modifications to the projects I usually have the students completing, or change them into different types of projects that are easier for our virtual and our in-class learners, or maybe not even do them at all. But either way, I will make sure that any project that is sent home this year is doable for anybody on either side of the screen. Secondly, I want your kids just to try their best. They're going to learn a lot of big words this year, And I don't expect anybody to be able to spell some of these words completely accurately, but I would love for them to try, and I would love for them to learn how to pronounce them and how to just really try to understand why all of this science is so important. Remember, we're going to be talking about earth science. So we're going to learn about weather and volcanoes and how the planet is formed, which also includes that God formed it. We'll also be learning about the body, just a little bit. We'll be talking about biology as in cells. We'll be talking about animals and other things like that, animal classification, plants, on a very foundational level. Next year, 7th grade, we'll talk about a lot more because that is our biology or life science. As for life skills, now life skills is a great class. We learn about hygiene. So I talk to the kids about making sure that they shower on a daily basis, that they brush their teeth, that they use deodorant or antiperspirant of some sort, because their bodies are changing and they're going from being a kid to an adult. And so this is that time of life called puberty where our body changes. And so we're going to have to do some things differently, which might even include showering more. Hey, I'll just be happy to get them in the shower, right? Anyhow, we'll also talk about washing clothes. I know a lot of the kids, and I saw this at camp or with my own kids who are preteens and teenagers. They don't care about sometimes putting on some of those dirty clothes. And you're like, no, sweetie pie, you gotta wash that. Can't wear it 5 days in a row. And so we talk about washing clothes. We talk about washing bedding and make sure that that's part of your hygiene, is that you're washing your bedding. We also talk about sleep schedules, that going to sleep at a good time and waking up at a good time and getting a solid 8 hours of sleep. And for teenagers, it's even more. It's like 10. It's a lot. So how do we do that? How do we make sure we get to bed and do all the things we have to do? So then that comes to another topic we go over, schedules. Making sure we schedule our day and we keep time not only for ourselves to rest and relax, but we also keep time for family and all the other important stuff like homework and dance or soccer or whatever it is our kids are in. Although COVID kind of eased up some of those schedules for us by taking everything away. Anyhow, that's what we'll be doing in life skills. Hygiene, schedules. Oh, I will also be talking about how to study and how to become a better student. That's where hygiene and sleep also come into play, because the better we feel about ourselves, the better we perform. So I try to talk to the kids about that, about, when you get up and you feel good and you feel like you look good and everything looks nice, you're eating well, you're healthy, all of that stuff, you perform better. And then how do we perform those tasks so that they are the most effective for our brain? The other thing we have is typing. Now, life skills, let me just go back for a second. It's only 1 trimester. Typing is another trimester. Typing is actually 2 trimesters. I'm sorry. Typing is 2 trimesters. And then I have them for another trimester of cooking. Okay? So typing we do at typing.com. And I will have a class linked up so that they all go to my class on typing.com, and they'll log in once a week with me and they will practice their typing skills. Now, a lot of parents will say, well, my kid doesn't need typing. They're all going to be on the computer all day using the keyboard. But I want them to learn proper finger placement and how to properly move their fingers so that they can be a faster, more efficient typer, or keyboardist, I guess you could say. But yeah, typing, and especially making sure that they're sitting up in front of that screen correctly so their back doesn't hurt, so their legs and hips and wrists and arms and everything that starts to hurt when you've been sitting in front of a screen for too long, or a computer or laptop for too long, that all of that doesn't hurt. And so if we teach them how to type properly, they'll be more efficient typers. And hopefully it'll help cut down on their homework time too, if they can just type it out real fast. That's what typing is. That's for 2 trimesters. It's a self-paced class. I do not grade them based on like everybody has to be at 15 words per minute by this point. No, I grade them by how well they are trying. So I will test them and see where they're at, and then I will give each and every one of them their own goals, kind of like AR. If they get to a certain point, like for their accuracy goal, they have to be in the 85% or higher goal, and same thing for word per minute. Usually I try to get them in the 85% or higher of their goal. And if they get in that range, then they're going to get 100% on those assignments. So it's all student-based per student. Each and every one of them is going to have their own little grading curve. And so as long as they're trying and truly practicing, it should be no problem getting an A. And cooking. Yay! Cooking actually this year and has always been, not just because of COVID, but we don't really cook. I know. But we do talk about healthy eating. So we go to, I like personally to use the Kaiser website. They have some great information for kids about how to eat healthfully. And then we talk about how that plate should look, how we don't just taste with our taste buds, but we taste with our eyes, with our nose, and everything else, our ears, sometimes even our hands. And we taste with all 5 of our senses, and so that's why we have to make it look pretty, and then we have to make it smell good, and then that's when it actually tastes with our taste buds. So we talk about all of that in cooking. We talk about the food groups and the food pyramid. The kids will go home and learn how, take a picture of a meal that they plated. They don't have to cook it, but they need to plate it, and they'll be learning how to make the dish look more appetizing to the person that they are going to be serving it to. So fun stuff like that. No cooking just yet. That will come later. And in Bible, we are going to be doing the Route 66 curriculum. It takes us through a journey through the Bible, and it talks about what is the main point of this book of the Bible, who wrote the Bible, what does the name mean, why was it named that, and then we talk about the significant events within each book of the Bible. Your students will also get a Bible verse every week, as long as they're not preparing for a test. If they're preparing for a test, I do not give them a Bible verse that week. They will also be learning their books of the Bible. So that's something else that I would like for you to work with them at home. I will be posting on their Google Classroom a song that they can sing at home and practice their Bible verse, books of the Bible with. Now, books of the Bible and Bible verse test, they can test on those orally. So that means that if they're a virtual learner, they can record themselves saying it and then send me the video. I just need to kind of like make sure I see their hands and make sure they're not reading it off of something. Please teach them, have them do something so that I know that they're maintaining honesty and they're just not reading it from anywhere. And my in-class learners, they can also say orally to me. I'm still figuring out how that's actually going to look, but we'll do it in the classroom where they will tell me. If they prefer to write it, the student is more than welcome to write it. Some of the verses that are shorter, if your student feels comfortable telling me a little earlier before the actual due date or recording their video and sending it to me prior to the actual due date, they will always be allowed to do it, to start sending me early work the Wednesday before it's due. It's always going to be due on a Friday. They can send it in as early as the Wednesday before the Friday it's due. Now, if it's a short week, like maybe we don't have school Friday, we have school ends on Thursday, then they can start on Tuesday. But I think that's about it. Scroll through my website, check that Google Doc out. At the current moment that I'm filming this video, it's not all complete just yet, but it should be complete by the first day of school. So if you go in there and you're still seeing like, oh, Martinez, this is blank or this doesn't have something, give me a second. Okay. It's been a wild ride so far. So I'm trying to get it all in there, and it will be in there. And I promise we'll have a great year. And so I'm so excited to work with your kids. My kid is part of the 6th grade group. So I'm so excited to definitely be a parent teacher this year. So have a great day. And I wish you all the blessings and hope everybody stays safe